Okay guys, so it's good to be back. So this time around we are looking at um what's it called, data importation. So not only data importation, it's also, we can also look at data exportation. Import means you are bringing some data into the system, while export means you are extracting some data out of the system. Now this is different from backup. So this is now a feature or module specific, or let me use the word feature specific. Now if you have any data you want to import, it's always good to have a prototype of how the data have been arranged, how the data is being arranged before you bring it into the system. So I would advise that is either you are exporting first. So this is not peculiar to Zoho alone. So anywhere you have importation of data, so first thing is, if maybe you want to export the data so that you can see how the system actually arranged its data before you now try to use the same template to bring it back in. So that is the same thing we are going to test now. So but let me just show us what this is going to do. Now you have the option to import data from your computer to speed up your data collection process inside every module. You can also export data from Zoho Invoice for your reference or other purposes. Navigate the module you would like to import. Or so now, okay, it's saying that for modules such as items, price list and accountant, you can find the import and export option under the settings icon drop down. Okay, let's move on. But let's move on. Let me go into the application. Now this is the application. So now this is the application we are going to be using. Okay, that's for now. Okay, the link in my previous video I talked about our backup. Now this is the link to the backup. So the system has sent that already. You understand? It has sent that. So your request for the backup of your data has been completed. Click download to download the. So if I click on download, it's going to download this. Then the link will expire on, so in a month's time it's going to expire. If you have trouble downloading, click the gearbox like this ahead to do it again. So if you want to download, just click here. So it's going to download. I just click on save. So it has downloaded it. So let's see how it looks like. So let me just you can unzip it. So look at, these are all the activities that the system has downloaded for you. So you can see it has downloaded each of these for you. Activity logs, contact persons, all these. So it's good. Let me just click this invoice. Sorry that we had to digress a bit. We were not able to do this in our last training because the download link was not sent at that time. So this is what you are going to have. So I've been able to open it, which is this. So this is what you are going to have as regards the invoice. Look at the invoice. So this is it. So let me just close this so that we can move faster. I don't want to save it. I'm closing this, closing this. Then I'm going back here. So moving on, what are we supposed to do is we want to try to export. So what are the kind of things we want to export? If you are exporting things like customers and items, just like the master files, when you want to do that, you do that under the settings for that particular module. That's settings for that particular module. You know, we talked about two settings from the beginning. We talked about the general one, which cut across every module, while this, which is specific. So this one is specific. So if I click on customer preferences here, so I'm supposed to have, I think this doesn't have, okay, let me just check. Sorry, let me, okay, let's use an example of, I don't know why, I think it's okay. This, for this I can use this. Look at this now. I can export my contact, I can import my contact. So for this aspect, let me just say import, so that we can see. Now import, but system will tell me that, oh, even though you want to import, download a sample file. That is either you are using there are two formats you can use to download and import here. Either you are using the CSV or XLS. They are both Excel files. So all I just need to do, let me say I'm using this to see how the sample looks like. I'll click that. So this gives me an idea of what I actually want to import. So this gives me an idea of what I want to import. So this is the display name. This is how, so I can have all this imported. So I have this. So that this gives me an idea. Then I can use this format to create mine. So when you create yours, all you just need to do is to use the choose file. So you save it in your, maybe you save it on your system, then you pick it up from there. Now when you pick it up from there, the system will tell you to map each field together. So the system will tell you to map each field together. Let's assume this one I just downloaded, I'm going to import it. But before we do that, look at something also. You can choose your files from either your system or from your cloud. So if you are using the system, that means your own system. You need to know where it is being saved. If you are also using the cloud, attach from cloud, which means you must have saved it on the cloud also. So if I say you should attach from cloud, there are different drives at which I can pull out from. Zoho has its own, Zoho documents, Zoho, so it depends on where you want it. So this is a separate training entirely. There Google Drive, so you can actually know how Google Drive works. Then Dropbox, Box, OneDrive, Evernote. So depending on whatever you want. So if, for instance, if I want to use Google Drive, it will tell me to authenticate my Google Drive, which means it will ask me to supply the details of my Google Drive, so which is what is going to be added to my system. So otherwise, let me close this and close this, then I choose from my system directly. So now It's telling us that the maximum file you need to upload is 5 MB. You understand? Now the file format is CSV or TSV or XLS. So now if you have duplicate handling, the system will tell you what should it do to duplicate handling. Should it skip or should it overwrite? So leave this as it is. Let me just choose that same file I downloaded. Download. I don't know where it saved it, but let me try to save. Okay, let me see where this is. Sample. Cut here. I just want to use this that is downloaded, but okay. Let me assume I'm putting it here. Okay. Choose files. Then I click here. So let me assume I want to import this. So before you will import this, when you send this, you will populate it with your data. But just because of this training purpose, I just only want to import this same thing. Then I click here and now say next. So it takes me to my mapping field. Now the best match to each other. So now the system will now look at what the invoice fields are. It will look at what the invoice fields are. Then it will now ask you, sorry, not the invoice, contact details list. Then it will now ask you that which of the column in Excel, that particular Excel, which of the columns you want to use. So this will list out all the columns for you that is in your Excel. So regardless of the name you use, you can use any name, but you must come here to map them. So that is why it's very easy for you to use an existing one. Then you can start modifying whatever you want to modify. So for instance, if it is this, if I'm okay with this, all I just need to do is next. Now all customers in your file are ready for import. Just because what I did was in and out. Then I click on import. So if I check, look at this is the person that the system imported. So if I check the details of the person, you can see. So based on my Excel, I have this. So I can come here and say, okay, I want to modify. I don't want it to have tax. United States USD. Now that's it. If I have address, you can see it is going to list out all the addresses for me. Then when I'm done, I click on save. So that is how to import. Now also you can do the same import on your items, but if you notice that I was trying to import, okay, this also has it. It has it here. You can import your items from this level. Anyway, so you can import your items from that level on system. All you just need to do is come here and click on import. So the same process too, the same process, export, fill in the Excel, then try to import. If there are errors, go back, check whatever. The system is going to be very, very explicit to tell you what the error is on the system. So I think those are just the only thing that I need to tell you about import. So every module that you have, everywhere you enter information would have import and export. Everywhere you have information, it would have it. So you can see you can import and export at that point. So this is where I will stop on our data imports and exports. So I will advise you to go through it so that you can see how the system works. So thank you very much.